I'm Matt, and today I'm gonna make Riggy the rabbit monkey. Because I wanted to. To start, I get all of the colors I'm going to need, as well as some paper clips in order to make an armature. I get a reference for sale for the armature, and then I bend the paper clips to the proper size to have the legs, body, and arms all be to scale. I make 2 of these, the nearly exact same shape, and then I connect them together at the waist with some aluminum foil, making sure to make it so that it's not very wide. After that, I combine a bunch of blue colors together in order to make the specific dark blue that I need for this project. After that, I cover the armature in a first coat of blue in order to make sure, and then I bake it in order to make sure that none of the pieces are wobbling around too much and I actually can control the armature. After this, I give it its first real slabbing on with clay in order to make it the thickness and size that I want. The second thingy is just to cover up the body, as well as to make the head connected to the body so that I don't have problems with it falling off later. You can also tell that I posed all of the limbs to the position that I want. I then cover all of the limbs with a worm of blue clay. Every single piece of exposed wire gets covered so that it doesn't look weird or like the robot Riggy that is on the channel now. Their channel now for some reason. Bring him back. So the worms just get smoothed in to cover up the wire, and then smooth to make sure that there's no seam, and then with the legs, all of the extra clay on it gets pushed into a foot. Also, the limbs get blended into the rest of the body. But then I felt like the arms and legs were a little thin, so I added some extra clay to bulk up the arms and the feet. This clay gets blended into the rest of the arms and legs in order to make it just look thicker. Make sure to keep it even. After this, I position the feet how I like, and I begin work on the head. But first, I need to make sure that the arms are the correct size. Once all of the main body is done, I begin to poke and indent into the face in order to make the mouth. This is a simple mouth, just being a black hollow void, so it's not super hard to replicate. You just put a thin black sheet where the mouth is indented and then smooth it out to make sure that there's no major gaps. After that, I placed on the nose. But I shouldn't have done either of these steps because I still needed to put on the ears. It's fine if you do these steps too, if you want to do this, I guess. But to make the ears, you just flatten out 2 sausages in order to make them look rabbit ear shaped. These ears get pressed into the position that they take in the pose I'm going for, and then indented down the middle in order to make them look like rabbit ears. After that, I refined the shape of the mouth since it got smushed up as I was blending them into the rest of the head, and I put the indent into the center of the ears. Once this is done, I put the nose back into place and I start working on the eyes. For this, I get 2 very thin worms of black clay, and I flatten them onto the face. After that, I get other parts of that worm and I set them in round shapes to complete the eye look. Once both of the outer eye is done, it is time to get to work on the eyebrows. These eyebrows are, again, simple worms that are cut to the proper size and placed above the eyes. After that, I place the white of Riggy's pupils in order to make him look not hollow on the inside. These pupils get flattened onto the rest of the eyes, and then the white shine also gets put on there. After that, I get 2 balls of white clay and place them on the edges of the hands in order to make Riggy's gloves. This is 1 circle on both hands, and then a worm at the base of the glove on each arm. These worms get wrapped around the wrist and then cut to the shape of the wrist so that it doesn't take up any extra space. And then the seam on the 2 ends of the worms get connected, and then the worm overall gets flattened. Once this is done, it is time to add the tail, because this wouldn't be a rabbit monkey if it didn't have bunny ears and a tail. The tail is just a piece of paper clip that was cut earlier when I shortened the arms, covered in blue clay and stabbed into the back of the body. For the tail, I did bake the entire body while leaving a hole for the tail to go into in order to make it easier for myself, but you can just do this in one shot if you want to. After this, all of the blue gloves and face is baked, so it is time to do the last thing on the Riggy itself, make his shorts. These are red shorts that start with a flat piece of red clay wrapped around Riggy's waist. This does not cover his tail or his arms, and I make sure to cut off anything overhanging the legs, since I will refine that shape later with pant legs, or with short legs, because these are shorts. I make sure to flatten the area around the hand that was pressed close up against the body, so I couldn't reach too far into there, and it looked a bit not flat. After that, I get 2 worms of clay and wrap them around the tip of the leg, or the top of the leg, where the shorts meet the leg. Then I blend these worms into the rest of the shorts, and I do this again for the back on the tail. This, once again, gets blended into the rest of the body. After the shorts are on, there's not much left on this project, but I still do need a base. This base is just a flattened piece of white clay that is then indented into a graph paper-like design. Of course, it does just look like a floor. But you know it was supposed to be graph paper.